Cool, everyone. I'm glad to see you on my yet another reflection session. Today is actually Monday, which implies that I wasn't able to record this video in time, but I still do not want to make another pause in production like it was previously in my third lip, so I'm recording it right now. Today I actually have three things to discuss, which are discipline, pre-rolling Linux, and habits. First of all, I didn't visit office even once during this week, which is a complete disaster given that I stated that I will visit office daily. I don't know what's happened, but I assume that I simply forgot the emotions I felt when I came to my previous conclusion, which was about going to office daily. It was in my previous episode. And the reasons for that is quite stupid actually. The emotions at the moment are much more powerful than ones in the past. So every day, my brain told me that going to office was not optimal and I stayed at home. So my brain just optimized at the moment. However, despite this office disaster, I've visited each and every university class which brain couldn't optimize by just staying at home. So I think if there is an opportunity to optimize, subconscious will gladly do so. The only bad thing here is that subconscious acts like a greedy algorithm in the sense that it optimizes right at the moment and doesn't consider any long-term repercussions. This leads to a pleasure-driven life which ends up horrible actually. You actually exchange struggles at the moment for struggles and the future. And by future I mean even the daily time frame. Usually the suffer of an action happens in 2 to 3 hours after you made useless decision when your when your conscious actually finally wakes up. So these two factors, which are the fact that struggles at the moment feel worse than those in the future, and the fact that your sleepy monkey brain makes it inherently hard to live a long-term driven life. I don't know how to overcome this actually because you literally forget own emotions and thoughts when it comes to making a right long-term efficient choice at the moment. Maybe I really should consider pen and paper as means to alleviate this forgetting curve, but my current iteration with tasks-based productivity in Obsidian seems to be forgotten almost immediately. Still not sure how fundamentally pen and paper differ from my current approach, how they should motivate me to stay on track and make correct decisions actually at the moment. For now, I leave this question behind since I cannot answer it right away and move to NixOS Endeavor. As I've said in my previous episode, I've decided to center my Linux strategy around migrating to NeoVim since there are no editor for my work on this platform. As usually, I threw this idea almost immediately and installed Debian Linux right on my ThinkPad. The next day, I said that NeoVim is the most important thing that you can get. Um, I actually had a good impression about the new Debian Bookworm release since it was able to correctly install hardware drivers for my laptop, which made my start a lot smoother than I anticipated. Because the last time I installed Debian, how it called Bullseye, it simply didn't catch the drivers for my network card and I was sitting without internet. I didn't know what to do. However, despite an easy start, I decided to switch to NixOS almost on the next day because the Debian felt boring actually and it didn't caught my attention enough. NixOS, on the other hand, offers completely unique approach with their declarative style configuration. So, for the last 3 to 4 days, I was tinkering with Nix and it was very fun. Additionally, I found since my last Nix attempt, which was during the 6th week of my first sleep, it was actually recorded here on the channel. I found some YouTube videos and blog posts, and basically they are the reason why my configuration is still afloat. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see how it go and whether this attempt is like worth doing. Whether the juice is worth the squeeze actually. Finally, for today, I want to share some habit thoughts because it appears that without a table, my habits simply don't hold. Turns out a nice trick isn't enough to keep the habit going, And I suppose that trick is some sort of proxy to changes that actually happen during the time you're quote unquote forming your habit. So this 70 or whatever interval, the 70-day period, presumably forces you to encounter some difficulties. And the way you process these difficulties is actually when you feel the shifts in your mentality and the habit actually forms. Basically, what I'm saying is that the amount of days is a bad metric for how strong your habit is. However, on the other hand, the amount of moments you didn't feel like doing the habit but did it is what actually really matters. Let's take a simple example as usual, which was my habit of brushing teeth daily. I was doing it for almost 5 months without any skips. However, when I abandoned my Google Sheets table for some reasons, this habit shattered also. The good news is after some time I was able to recover it even without a table because I had a vivid memories of me forcing myself into doing it even in the hardest conditions. I cannot say the same thing about my wall angles habit. This might sound stupid, but I never was able to do my habit when someone was watching me, and during the period I was doing my habit, I wasn't able to change this stupid mentality. That's why there was actually no habit forming moments, and the habit didn't form even after repeating it for a long time. And okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching this pile of random ideas, and I hope I'll see you in the next reflection session. Bye bye.